Ladies and gentlemen, some highlights. Jordan Peterson in conversation with Elon Musk.
I've been preparing to talk to you for a long time, so I'm really looking forward to it. You said something that caught me right away when we were discussing various issues just before we started. You said you were up till 4 in the morning.
Yeah, so, actually a little more like 5 in the morning. But
okay.
We got the XAI data center or supercomputer center training from beginning installation to start of training in 19 days, which is the fastest that anyone has ever gotten a supercomputer to train.
Already I have some thoughts. Musk is now in his mid-50s. He's 53 years old and still working his fucking dick off. Up until 5 in the morning, this guy just doesn't know how to let up. And we just heard XAI have just, in essence, broken a world record in getting a supercomputer training cluster up and running. What an incredible leader this guy is to still be working relentlessly at maximum speed, non-stop. This is the kind of guy I would love to own shares in any publicly traded companies that he happened to be leading. Keyword there, leading, because this is exactly what you want from a leader. Talk about commitment. Also, imagine being a leader of another company trying to compete with any of the companies that Musk is leading. Good luck.
And is that in that new building off to the side?
That's in Memphis, actually.
It's in Memphis?
Yeah.
Oh, so that's where you were?
Yeah.
I see.
Memphis,
okay.
The capital of ancient Egypt.
Right. Yeah, you're bringing what?
Perhaps that's where our new God will come from.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Yeah, I wish that was funny.
This is actually a classic, hilarious moment. For those who missed it, they're referencing the potential of an artificial superintelligence, aka doomsday scenario, in which, in the best case, humans become the equivalent of its pet. And that's the best case.
Yeah, okay, so I want to talk to you about alignment.
That was funny.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
Look, I mean, there are a few things we're aiming for with Grok, the XAI.
Yeah.
That's the name of the AI from XAI is called Grok.
Yeah.
And if you're familiar with the term.
I'm familiar.
So,
I want to ask you about that, too.
Well, Grok just means to deeply understand something.
Yeah, but it's got that weird background. That's Stranger in a Strange Land, right? Robert Heinlein. That was a favorite book of mine. How old are you?
53.
Yeah, okay, so we're roughly from the same era. If it understands video, will it start to understand behavior?
Yeah.
All this data that you've collected with your cars, so I've been wondering, I know Tesla's a car company, but when I look at what you do,
AI
I don't...
company.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Well.
Yeah, well, maybe more. Like, those aren't cars, those are autonomous robots.
Yeah, they're robots on 4 wheels. Autonomous robots on 4 wheels, yeah. They just look like a car.
Right. They're disguised as a car.
Disguised as a car,
yeah. Yeah.
Very amusing interaction there. And I think Jordan actually summed it up nicely after Musk kind of jumped in there and corrected him. Tesla, not just a car company. And their products are, in fact, autonomous robots disguised as cars. And just to be clear, they're autonomous robots that are also vacuuming up incredibly valuable data 24/7. And to be fair, clearly, these autonomous robots do have a fairly compelling disguise, at least compelling enough to fool most on Wall Street, most analysts, most commentators in the finance media into actually genuinely thinking that they are looking at just a car and nothing more.
Yeah, okay. So what advantage do you have in training Grok, given that you have all this real world data that you've gathered from your automobiles?
By the way, I just got to ask, is it just me or is this just the most epic, amazing thing ever? We've got Jordan Peterson, an absolute fucking G, total goat, talking to Elon Musk. This is cool enough, and it was inevitable that this conversation would happen one day. But JP's asking the questions now that the Wall Street analysts have been ignoring. You've got all these autonomous robots collecting all this data. Like, that seems to be super important. Please tell us more. This is wild to see.
We haven't yet applied real-world video from Tesla to Grok yet. So I'm just...
Now, did you hear that? We haven't yet. I think you said yet twice, actually, in terms of applying what Tesla has done with real-world video, with real-world AI to Grok. Yet. Keyword there, yet. One more time. Yet. Implicit in that single word, yet, unless Elon misspoke twice, is that this will happen. Now, from a Tesla investor's point of view, which is the majority of people watching this video, I assume, one, I said this would happen, and two, it's important. See, Tesla has mountains of invaluable data, and there's no other company on Earth, none, this isn't hyperbole, there are no other companies on the planet who have a fleet of autonomous robots disguised as cars collecting astonishing amounts of data at unfathomable rates. There's no one even close. Tesla's rate of data collection is many orders of magnitude more than anyone you could consider in a vastly distant second place. Unlike large language models, e.g. Grok, ChatGPT, which can either pay for huge libraries of data or intellectual excrement, for example, in the case of the Reddit data, an LLM can be trained off portions of the internet, either the public stuff or they can license data streams. However, there is no equivalent for the real world. If you don't have the fleet of autonomous robots collecting the data, you don't have the data. And unless Tesla were generously going to license that data to someone else, it's not possible for any other company to accumulate this invaluable resource, mountains of real world data. And this is very important. What Tesla has, it's hard to quantify the exact value of this real world data, but it has to be in the billions of dollars, if not the tens of billions of dollars. And this is probably a very conservative estimate. XAI will want this data we just heard, yet Grok has not yet implemented this. So, as I said previously, going back to the formal announcement of Grok, at the time I speculated, and this is the biggest hint so far, Tesla has something very valuable that XAI will want for Grok. And there's nowhere else that XAI could get this data. It's Tesla, or you don't get the data. XAI via Grok also has something that Tesla would like, an LLM, for consumers to interact with its vehicles via text and more likely language. But I think on balance, the data that Tesla has is far more valuable than the LLM that XAI will be able to provide to Tesla. So, riddle me this. How will this value exchange take place? How does the new, fresh, nimble startup XAI tap into Tesla's invaluable mountain of real-world data? Because clearly, when we hear the word yet, this suggests that it will happen. Let's think through some possible options. Option number one, they just pay an absolute fuck ton to license the data in cold hard cash. Now, this is possible, but in my opinion, quite unlikely. What are some alternatives? Well, possibly there's a little bit of give and take. Well, we want your LLM, you want our data. You probably don't want to spend $10 billion licensing this stuff, but here's an idea. Why don't you, XAI, give us, Tesla, a little slice of the company? It's in Tesla's best interest. We'll get an equity stake. You'll get the data. No money exchanges hands, but suddenly now Tesla has a slice of the only piece of the AI pie they don't currently have any slice of, which is language. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours, everybody wins. Maybe there's a combination, some cash, some equity. I don't know. But as I've said in the past, what Tesla has collected, the real world AI, this is the foundational building block of artificial general intelligence. Upon that block sits language. Now let me explain. Think about an example of life on Earth. Pick anything. The most fundamental foundational piece of intelligence required is to exist and interact with the real world. Plants need to collect sunlight. Organisms need energy, either via food, photosynthesis, from their environment. In essence, being able to interact and most likely, but not in every case, move within the real world. That is the foundational piece of intelligence. Real world. Physical world. Obvious things are obvious. A much simpler problem that sits on top of this is language. I think you might be aware that most plants and animals don't have language. And there's only one, humans, with complicated language. Right? So these LLMs that we're seeing pop up all over the place, and all the excitement around AI, this is important. Language is cool, but it's the cherry on top of the much more foundational piece, which is real-world AI. That's what Tesla has, and that's what every AI company on Earth is ultimately going to want. Over time, we will see all forms of AI converge into a single form of general intelligence. Like I said, anyone can solve language, not a big problem. You get the data by scraping the public internet, licensing data from private internet sources as well. But you cannot get that real-world data. Tesla is the only company with this source of data. And now we hear Musk talking about Grok not having yet implemented Tesla's real-world data. In conclusion, I just wanted to make sure that everybody understands that obviously all of the Wall Street analysts have already figured this out about Tesla. They definitely include this in their valuation model because there's a cell that they can just stick licensing Tesla data. They're not overlooking this, and I'm absolutely not being sarcastic. Plus, even if I was, it's not a big deal, so you should probably ignore it anyway.
Person, so what the hell do you think you're building with these AI systems? Like, what is this?
Well, I think really what all the AI companies are aiming to build is digital superintelligence.
Correct. And as I mentioned previously, language is just one component of digital superintelligence. In fact, it's just the cherry on top. Now, if Musk is right, clearly I agree. And all these AI companies are ultimately attempting to develop artificial superintelligence, but none of them have access to the most important piece of the puzzle, real-world AI. How valuable is Tesla's data stream? How valuable is that real-world AI? And given the fact that Musk controls XAI and has a big stake in Tesla, how likely are competing AI companies to have a chance of gaining access to Tesla's real-world AI? Worth pondering.
And for a while there, when I was saying, I thought, well, that's really a weak thing to
Yeah,
do.
it can be.
If someone and with respect to bullies at school, I think you shouldn't turn the other cheek. You should punch them on the nose, and then thereafter make peace with them. But they need to stop bullying you, and a punch in the nose will stop that, and then thereafter, make peace. So
Sometimes that punch on the nose is the first step in making peace with bullies.
yes, it may change their career from being a bully to perhaps they shouldn't be doing such things.
This is a very telling interaction. Now, just about everyone watching knows Musk's history, his childhood, beaten nearly to death, bullied relentlessly, and this has no doubt shaped who he is as a person. I've said it before, I will say it again. Elon Musk is a counter-puncher. He never starts fights, but he will finish them. When people attack this guy, unreasonably, unfairly, out of nowhere, he will punch back, as should anyone. And I strongly suspect that this philosophy also extends to calling out bullies who are attacking those who won't defend themselves in totally unrelated matters, something, vulnerable children being sterilised and having their genitals mutilated and so on. I want to keep this one fairly short today, but once again, just want to emphasise the incredible importance and value of the data that Tesla are capturing via their fleet of autonomous robots disguised as cars. Now 6+ million and counting. This is the only piece of the puzzle, and in fact the most important piece of the puzzle that no other company on earth either has or can have unless Tesla generously licenses this for extraordinarily large amounts of cash. And we've heard in this interview, Musk has now officially signaled intent for XAI to gain access to this data from Tesla on their mission to develop artificial super intelligence. I'm sure, of course, that there's got to be absolutely no connection between artificial superintelligence and Tesla massively expanding the global labor market via their increasingly intelligent and capable humanoid robots known as Optimus. In conclusion, there's definitely nothing to see here. Tesla is just a car company, and all the analysts on Wall Street are right. Want more content? Early access? A bunch of perks? Click the links in the pinned comment. AG1 is awesome. I've been taking it daily now for more than 3 years. It's a great way to fill in nutritional gaps. It's packed full of vitamins, minerals, and whole food source nutrients, plus has prebiotics, probiotics, and adaptogens to improve gut health, regularity, and help your body handle stress. I'm always looking for an edge to help me feel and perform my best, which is why I haven't missed a day of AG1 for more than 3 years. And I haven't missed a daily video in more than 3 years. Must be a coincidence, right? Just try it and see how you feel. Click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR and get yourself a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 plus K2 and 5 travel packs. But don't take my word for it. This is what viewers of the channel had to say after trying AG1. I feel like I have a lot more energy since I started on AG1. By the way, viewer, that makes 2 of us. On to the next. Just got my AG1 in the mail. Legit feeling the effects after day 3. This viewer's been taking AG1 for 8 months and says, what an investment. Another. 3 months ago, I started AG1 and have been enjoying the evenness of alertness and energy that lasts the day. I just started the wife on it too. Are you convinced yet? I mean, hey, it's worth trying, right? Click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR, or I can keep going. There's plenty more to come. This viewer, after about a month on AG1, definitely a lack of fatigue in the afternoon. Pleasant side effect is that my coffee intake has imploded and is almost down to 0. One more? Yeah, why not? I honestly feel younger and will be continuing to use AG1. This stuff really is crazy good. I didn't think it would be, but this stuff is awesome. It really is what everyone is saying. One more? Don't mind if I do. I've just received my 3rd month supply. I've drank it every day. I have so much energy throughout most of the day. I'm productive, started a new business, started socializing, refurbished a boat. It's no coincidence. Thank you for your persistence, your integrity, and your insights. Now look, these are not my words. These are not my testimonials. This is what you guys and girls are saying. Maybe it's 100% placebo effect. But even if that's the case, I think it's money well spent. Click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR and get yourself a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 plus K2 and 5 travel packs. If you're still skeptical, hey, I don't blame you. Everyone on the planet seems to be promoting AG1 now, but guess what? They weren't nearly 3 years ago when I had this to say privately to my Patreon audience before there was a relationship, when I was asked about what I was doing for my health, energy, and so on. Just sharing my genuine, honest thoughts about a product I'd recently discovered that was at the time called Athletic Greens. Now, AG1.
If I could only recommend one supplement to take, Athletic Greens, and I'm not getting paid to say this, Athletic Greens is a fucking game changer. I cannot believe how effective this is. No longer having a lack of energy in the afternoons. It's fucking amazing. There's only one thing to recommend, seriously. Try Athletic Greens. You won't go back.
So obviously, just like Elon Musk is a liar, a fraud, a con man, a scammer, a fake engineer, and Tesla's going bankrupt, you shouldn't trust that guy from about 3 years ago who, without any financial incentive, was promoting this product to his audience on Patreon when they were asking about health and what he's doing for supplements. Because obviously, there was some other reason he recommended that, obviously. Not sure what it was, but don't trust that guy. And all the testimonials, like my mental game has improved with AG1. I feel better than ever. I'm so impressed I've bought it for both my parents. I feel more focused and have better digestion. Incredible difference. No more afternoon fatigue. It's relieved gut issues. These are all just obviously fake testimonials from fake people. Right? Wrong. Just try it. Unless you hate yourself. If you hate yourself and you don't even want to risk possibly feeling better, this is not for you. But for everyone else, what's the worst that could happen? Try it for a month. See how you feel. It's a no-brainer. Just click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR. You'll get a free 1-year supply of vitamin D3 and K2 plus 5 travel packs. And you'll take the colossal risk that maybe you might have a similar experience to some of the people whose testimonials we've read in this video.